So we'll start again. Welcome, everyone. All right. So we've done a little introduction already. We're not going to waste time. We want to go straight into the meeting. I have with me Tolulope Ajayi. She's one of the products of the Decency NCLEX Academy, and she's currently in the US. I'll let her do more of the introduction. And if you are here and you can hear me, you can type. Please kindly go to the comment section. Let us know where you're joining us from. I always want to do that so that we can make sure that what we are giving you guys is highly relatable to your environment, your location. So if you're joining us from any part of the world, just please kindly go to the comment section and put it down there. All right. So this meeting, this webinar is brought to you by no other than the Decency NCLEX Academy, the vendor of good news. All right. And then we are going to be expanding this more, to make sure that we reach more people. Someone said it's from Virginia. Yeah. I would like to know that person. So we have a lot of people, joining us today. All right. So, but without wasting much of our time, I would like us to, kind of get into the meeting. So, but Tolu, if you can share your slide, please kindly go ahead. As you're doing that, I will just say hi to the people who have joined us today. And as you have joined, I would like you to also let other people know, especially those in your platforms, different platforms that you belong to. If there's anybody that needs to be part of this meeting, please kindly let them know that we have started the meeting, okay? So, Sarah, thank you so much. Yes, I am doing well. Thank you so much. I have Telamari says Edinachi. Thank you. Good evening. How are you doing? Stephanie, thank you so much. Yes, yes. I have Mary Essien, thank you. Have Chidima Onyekwere. Yes, thank you from Nigeria. Yes, I have, Stella is in the US. Stella, thank you for joining. And then Stephanie is in Virginia. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining. Yes. And then I have Neka from Nigeria. I have Chioma from Brazil. How is Brazil today? Is it hot? Is it cold? Thank you for joining, Chioma. And then I have Esther from Nigeria and JK from UK. All right. And then I have, who else do I have here? I have Deborah from Nigeria, and I have Tolu from the US, okay? Onyenwem from Italy, and I have, Choma said Brazil is cold today. Wow. Please make sure you stay warm, okay? All right, so now I will be allowing Tolu to take it over from here. She's going to be, she came prepared today. So she came with something that, she wants to share with everyone. I guess you should be able to share it right now. If you're using your slide, you can try and share it. If you can't, I would be working on the background, or you can just go start doing it. Then I can work on the background to see how I can pull it off for you. Okay, so you can do, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, you can start with, introducing yourself, because I know a lot of people here, they may or may not know you. So, and I may have not introduced you properly. So who do we have here? Can you tell us who you are?
Well, thank you so much, boss. Thank you so much for having me. I like the energy in the house today, and it's a beautiful day in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The weather is about like 54 degrees Celsius. So it's still kind of a little bit cold, but we love it because usually it's always below zero, and we are cold. So we love it. Spring is here, summer is here. I'm so excited and pumped up. So my name is Tolulope Ajayi, USRN, as we know. I recently got my master's in nursing with emphasis in public health. I work in the medical surgical unit. I worked in core Medsurg for about 3 years during my contract. So now I'm in the rehabilitation unit. It's a little step down from Medsurg, but mostly Medsurg as well, just like post-stroke rehabilitation and all of that. So it's still under the Medsurg category generally. So today I'm excited to be here. I'm the Director of Education in Decency NCLEX Academy, and it's my pleasure to be with you all today. It's my pleasure to serve. If you hear that voice in the background, I have a toddler in the house. Apologies already. So today we'll just jump right into it because we have a lot to discuss, and I felt like it's not going to be enough, but we'll do what we can, and we'll try to be good stewards of your time. So clinical and cultural adaptation in the USA. This is a part 2. Boss, you have to please share my slides.
Yeah, working on
Yeah,
it.
thank you. So clinical and cultural adaptation in the USA is the broad topic. And today we're going to be focusing on Medsurg real life experience. So talking about clinical and cultural adaptation, there are like two things in one, like while you're working in the hospital, how you navigate life generally. So we're going to have the mix of both, not just talking about only the hospital, but also talking about life outside the hospital and the cultural differences and all of that. So overview, we're going to be talking about EMR, that's electronic medical recording. We're going to be talking about relocation, tips, your first day at work expectations, cultural adaptations, responsibilities of a med-surg nurse. Either you work days or you work nights. I have like experience in both. I can talk about that. Then we're going to be taking your questions. So hopefully we can run through and then grab your questions. So if you have a question, please write it down because I might answer your question as it goes. So I don't want it to get lost in the chat. Just note it somewhere as you're listening. Probably you have your answers before the end of the presentation. Maybe you won't even need to ask anymore. But if you put it in the chat box, it might just get lost in the chat, if you understand what I mean. So we'll jump right into it. So first, we're going to be talking about the electronic medical record. So is electronic medical record or electronic health recording. The terms are like used interchangeably. And coming from Africa, we are used to paper charting. Most of us are used to paper charting. There are some very big hospitals now that are transitioning, and that is amazing. Transitioning into electronic medical recording, and that is good. So now, electronic medical recording is a platform that helps to store and manage patients' data. It's sort like their medication, their allergy, their history, test results, and all of that. So it's a technology-based recording whereby we don't have to like go around with our papers and all of that. So it makes data readily available for prompt access and improved coordination of care and improved patient outcome. For example, because we're being practical here, right? So if someone travels to, okay, I live in Wisconsin, and someone travels to Florida, and you need to see a doctor in Florida, you don't need your papers. They don't need to call someone. They don't need to like call someone to say, oh, what is it about this patient, or what's the history of this patient? You just like log in and you can see everything about the patient. You can see the allergies, you can see all the surgeries the patient has had in this lifetime, all the CT scans that the patient has had in this lifetime, no matter how old they are. You can see studies, results from like 2020 and all of that. So advantages of EHR or EMR is that it helps data storage. It improves communication. Like you don't need to call the primary care physician and say that, oh, when was the last time this person came for a checkup? You can see it right there. So I remember one of our nurse practitioners, she got married and went for her honeymoon. So they went skiing and then she had a fracture. She fell and had a fracture right where she was, like many thousand kilometers away. So having a fracture, they don't have to start like asking her for her history, her allergies. Just tell me your name and date of birth. I put it in. I can see your history already. I can see if you're allergic to these medications and all of that. So it helps the work to flow better, and it gives us better care, better outcomes of our care. Like when you're not wasting time to attend to patients, you're not wasting time on gathering documents or information that is already in the patient's chart. You know that then you can attend to them promptly and in a better informed way. So there are lots of examples of like electronic medical record database or programs that we use in the US. My own facility uses Epic. Some use Meditech, Cario, Care Cloud. So one of the good questions to ask during your job interview may be, what kind of medical recording do they use in that facility? Some may be Epic. So you can probably just like log in and check on YouTube and see how it works, or look at Epic interface and see like some things. It might be something to just play around with and watch on YouTube while you're learning about your facility. So if they ask you, do you have any other questions during the interview, you can ask them which medical record system do you use in your facility? So they will let you know, they will tell you about it. So that's just like a basic summary, but it can look intimidating. And when you first get to work and then they turn on the computer and you see all of these things to chart on, like it's a lot of tabs and all the tabs just keep moving and going and you're like, what am I doing with this? So sometimes it can look overwhelming. It can look so bulky, but we all get used to it over time. It's not something that you catch in a day, but trust me, you'll be all right, perfectly all right. So the orientation period is enough period for you to get the basics, like what you need to get going. You will not know everything on orientation, but it's enough for you to start your job. It's enough for you to get going. It's enough for you to start what you need to do for your patients. So then that's just the overview of EMR. So I'll jump quickly to relocation tips. So now I said your relocation process began on the first day you decided to write the NCLEX exam. So it is not a journey that you should be unprepared for or that should catch you unawares. Like you know already, you know your destination when you're writing the exam. So programs like this, things like this help us to be better informed and to prepare. So don't be caught unguarded or don't be caught, like, don't always be overwhelmed. You will be overwhelmed at some point because of the culture and the differences, but it is you are preparing yourself that there will be a time that you may feel overwhelmed. So you're even preparing yourself for the overwhelming period already. So if that's a thing. So the day you decided to take your NCLEX exam is when your preparation started, is when your relocation preparation already started, and you do not have any excuse not to be prepared. So this is part of your preparation, and I'm glad you are here. So first tip I would say is, like, the biggest thing on my mind when I was thinking about it, do not set unrealistic expectations. Don't tell everybody in your house that immediately you land in the US like this, all the problems of their life is completely solved. Like, there's no problem again. In fact, we build you mansion. In fact, like, all the poverty in your lineage has disappeared once you just land. Don't set unrealistic expectations. Like, people are under pressure. They call it Africa or black tax. Black tax is like when you are working to give back at home. It is not the first month you get here, okay? You're under contract and they're paying you how much, and you want to build house in your village in your first 3 months. It is unnecessary pressure, like you don't need it. So first thing, do not set unrealistic. If you have told people like that before, you better go and change your mind and say, please, well, I'll first pay back the people that sponsored me to come on this journey. So after I pay back my debt, I'll be able to start settling you gradually. If you have already given them that impression that don't worry, is this retrogression? Just let this retrogression pass. Let me land. Like, all these things because of retrogression. Once I land, all this problem will be solved. Please, it's time to start changing your mouth small and say, it might take a while. I'll need to settle in. I'll need to, like, pay up some debt. I'll need to get my life in order before I can start giving back. Please, that is a big thing. Settle that one now, because pressure is plenty. Then another tip is take one day at a time. Nobody gets here and gets it all within their first week, within their first month. Everybody goes through that process of time. Take one day at a time. I remember there are things that will happen that will just, like, want to knock you off. I want to feel like, what is all this? Want to, like, disorganize you or make you feel so overwhelmed. But take one day at a time. Everybody gets to that phase and it always gets better. Another tip is that seek knowledge, ask questions. There is no stupid question. Like, have at least one person, 2 people, 3 people that you can talk to. Don't just make decisions. And I have a friend in one of my church friends. When they got here, she wasn't a nurse, and I think her husband came through visa lottery and all of that. So finally they joined, and she wanted to do nursing. She started as a CNA, then she did CNA for maybe just 3 months, and she wanted to do nursing. The next thing, they jump into private university. Like, and there's a local state college here that does nothing. It was after the first year, now they're under pressure of school fees. She thought she would get scholarship, some scholarship denied, one accepted, and the fee is like $52,000. Excuse me. And I was like, who did you talk to before you even started this program? She said, yeah, that they just saw it online. They just click and they said that they can get scholarship. Excuse me, I did not even do my master's for $52,000. It's a private school, for God's sake. So please always ask questions, calm down, seek information. It's not immediately you come, oh, immediately I want to do my BSN, I want to do my master's. Calm all the way down. Calm all the way down. Ask people for information. See information that you even get. Not the one that applies to you. Ask questions until you get answers, until you get your options, and you can pick from options. Don't be in a hurry. Nobody is chasing you. See, they did not give you green card that this green card will expire in 2 years, in 4 years, in 5 years. It is for life. So far, you are alive. So don't start running anybody's race. This America, everybody will be all right. So seek knowledge, ask questions, sieve information, and pick the one that goes with you best before you jump into taking any decision. This applies to everything. Don't be in a rush. You have time. Like that's the next one. And then the last one is relate with people of like minds. Like there's EAG, exclusive arrival group for nurses, like we discussed lots of topics, both relevant and irrelevant topics. But guess what? I pick a lot from that group. Someone was still asking me about Blender 3 days ago. I'm like, did you see on EAG when they were talking about one blender that works fine? She said, is it Bucci mix? I said, Bucci mix. They said this one works very well and it's not as expensive. I sent her the link, sharp from EAG. Like, that's not nursing related, but of course, that will save us some money. Instead of buying like the big name expensive blenders, and it will still do the job. That's just like an example of regular things that we discuss on our group. And then it comes in handy. It didn't even come in handy for me, it came in handy for another friend. I'm like, you didn't read that chat on Blender. But I always start messages. So I started that Blender and I got her the link and it was delivered to her yesterday. So what am I saying? Relate with people. Don't just isolate yourself. Join all of these groups and speak, interact with people. So we'll jump straight to first day at work expectations. Are you guys still following? Can I see your emojis? Can I see your comments?
Hey guys, if you're following, just write value on the comment section. Write value on the comment section, guys, so that we know that you're following. Thank you.
Okay, I see you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tolu. Just
you.
to add to what you just said, I know you want to run and finish, but I just want to chip this in. Student loan is a lot here in the US, okay? So each of, like the one that Tolu was talking about, 52,000, do you know how much that she pays back every year on that 52,000 loan? It's like 10% of it. It's like 10% every year. So that money, if you're not paying it, every year it adds 10%. Every year it adds 10%. So that's why a lot of people here in the US, even at 60 or 50 something, they are still paying student loan. You understand? Because it adds up every year. Unless you just focus and say, I'm not going to do any project, I want to pay off this student loan. It's a lot. So asking question is very, very important. So you can get the schools that are almost relatively cheap, or even get the ones that have a lot of scholarship. There's some people that went to school here. They went to community colleges. They went to school almost free. So very important point. I just wanted to buttress on it. Thank you, Tolu. Go ahead. Tolu, are you still there? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So first day at work expectations. Now, when you're going to work, you already know that you're going to this place. You should know the color of their scrub, know what to put on when you're going to work. From your interview, I expect that you should ask, what is the color of the scrub they use here? Because some facilities, generally, like I would say largely, RNs wear navy blue scrubs, but there are some facilities that wear different colors. Some of my friends work in a facility where they wear ash colored scrubs. I've seen one that is like kind of like greenish, lemonish scrub. So depending on your unit, in our facility, pediatric nurses, they wear different colors of top on their navy blue trousers. So ask what you should put on. Get yourself ready. The first point, do not be late. Boss, can you move the slide? Don't be late. Do not go late. Like Americans value their time. There's nothing like African time here. Like even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there's no African time. You already know the time you should get to work. If you do not have a car yet, you want to book your Uber ride or your bus ride, at least calculate 15 minutes before your resumption time. It's not 30 minutes to resumption. You are booking Uber. You want to do wait time. You now wait for like 12 minutes for the ride to come. And then the ride on your first day at work, it's better you get there early than to get there late. So do not be late. Then the first day you're going to meet your manager. When you meet your manager, you should get your badge and your binder. Your badge is like what you used to badge into everywhere, doors, computer. You need your badge to clock in, then you have to clock in after you receive your badge that you have resumed on that first day. And then your binder has your orientation criteria, like what you should learn during orientation, the name of your preceptors, your code. If you have like a locker, your code should be in your binder. So you need to get your badge and your binder on the first day. Then meet your preceptor. Your manager will introduce you to your preceptor. Oh, this is so person. This is Tolu. She's going to be your preceptor for today. Then you have another preceptor who is based. She'll be your preceptor for some days because Tolu cannot not always work every day that you work. You understand. So you meet your preceptor. Then sometimes you can do the computer orientation. The computer orientation is where you learn about the facilities policies. You sit with the computer first, you do computer-based orientation, read about the history of the facility, some things they do before you start like going around with your preceptor to see patients and see the work they do on the floor. Then take your break. Don't feel like, oh, it's my first day. When you're ready for break, take your break. If you're doing the computer thing, if not, if you have a preceptor, ask, oh, can I take my break now? Is this a good time to take my lunch break? Go eat something. Go press your phone a little. It could be 30 minutes break, depending on your facility. Mostly it's 30 minutes break, but some get as much as 1 hour break, and that's so beautiful. Take your break. Don't be too joyful, too overwhelmed, whichever one it is, not to take your break. So take your break. Do not be overwhelmed and ask questions. It's your first day. It's your first week, even till first month, even till now, after like 2 years, 3 years, we still ask questions. There is always question to ask. You don't know it all. You can't know it all at once. You always have questions. So don't forget to ask questions. Whenever you have any question, anything you do not understand, simply ask. That is why they are there. That's why your preceptors are there. That is why your manager is there. So always ask questions. It's better to ask than to make a mistake. So those are just like your expectations. You're expected to now like study your binder, look at those things in your binder. Those are the things you would start working on, or like your learning points, things that you should focus on. How to use this, how to get your medication out of the med drawer. So those are the things you look out for as your preceptor is doing it. You're following them, you're asking questions, and then you're going with them. So it's like a checklist for things you should know. So make sure you just go through your binder to see those things that are expected of you, not just to carry the binder and dump it somewhere. Go through it and see what you are expected to know during your orientation period. So that's the first day. Well, then we'll talk quickly about cultural adaptation. You know, sometimes we Africans, we think our culture is like superior. Culture is culture everywhere. Nobody's culture is better than the other. It is just your culture. And it's something you have grown to be with, or you've grown to like. Here in America, when they see you and they just do like this, they've greeted you with a smile. They have greeted you. You don't need good morning. Don't be expecting someone to be saying good morning, good afternoon. How are you? Have you eaten? Please just forget that one. Once you come here and someone sees you, you're like close, and the person smiles, you to smile back and move. Or hi, hello. They have greeted you. Some people will not even say anything. But it does not mean that you will not communicate. Like it is here I realize that you can be working with someone. Nobody say hello, and they need something. Oh, so do you know where this is? Like they will just come to you and ask you. It doesn't mean that this one that did not even greet me, you're not asking me a question. So you can talk. It doesn't matter. You are working together. The person has smiled. That's it. They've greeted you. So don't expect anything overly formal, like hello, good morning. Some will say hello, hi. That's okay. Sometimes now I even hug people. Oh, I've not seen you in a while. Come on. They know I'm a huggy bunny. So they already know that they're getting used to my hugs. But sometimes it doesn't even, I don't even do that as well. So that takes us to relationships. No friends at work. I hope we all on this call won't have to like learn that the hard way, that there are no friendships at work. Friendship in quotes, not that you can't be their friends, but do not go to work with a mindset that you have a friend or that you're going to make friends. You are a professional, be professional, do your job, relate normally, and then move. Don't overly share your personal life at work. Nobody needs to know what you ate last night at work. Nobody needs to know what is going on with you and your spouse at work. So be professional, keep it professional. Sometimes I'll just elaborate on this a little. Sometimes they ask a lot of questions out of curiosity. Oh, why are you here? Wow, all the way from Africa? Some of them are sincere, but some are subtle banters. So learn to like be emotionally intelligent to know when someone is like asking a sincere question, and learn to just give a brief answer and move. That's not the time you'll be talking about the history of your family and how your forefathers and your grandparents fought Biafra War. Like little details, and then keep moving. You're not there to discuss your family. So know how to like have your already made answers. Oh, why are you here all the way? Oh, what brought you here? Are you here with family? Some are curious. Some, especially then patients. So patients will ask you if you are pregnant. It is not, they don't mean it bad. They are not village people when they're asking you, oh, you're pregnant. When are you due? Is it a girl or a boy? That's part of their culture. Like some people will ask you because they also will share it. Well, Bele will never show like pregnancy that nobody even knows. They'll come and announce, "Oh, I'm pregnant." And when they discover the sex, it's a girl, it's a boy. They'll bring cake to work. It's gonna be a girl. Like they are not village people. That is the way they do. They are think patients will ask you, "Oh, when are you due?" Like so they're just asking. They want to know your ADD. They want to know when you're due. So if you like lie to them, if you like form anything you want to say, but they just want to know, and that part of it is part of their culture. I remember sometime we went shopping, and I was pregnant then, and then there was a woman in Sam's Club in the shopping mall. She was like, "Oh my gosh," because my husband and I wore the same clothes, like matching outfits. And then she was like, "Oh, I love this fabric. It's Ankara, like Nigerian fabric. I love your fabric. Oh, when are you due? Are you having a girl?" And it was just like, ugh. It wasn't one of those days. I was really tired. We were coming from church and I was already tired. And I was like, "Yes, I'm having a girl. Oh, when are you due?" "Yeah, I'm due in August." And then she paid for everything we bought that day. She did not even carry a cart. She was holding just 3 items in her hand. What she bought did not even require a cart. And then she just told the lady at the checkpoint, "I've got their cart." I didn't really understand. I'm like, "You've got waiting." After they scanned all our things, I brought out cash. She said, "No, no, no, I've got it." And then she paid for everything in our own cart because she was just excited to see people that are wearing anko and to see couples that are expecting a baby girl. And like, I don't know what the excitement was about, but that's just it. So sometimes it's their culture to like ask those personal questions, but it depends on you if you want to answer or if you have a short answer or whatever way you want to deal with it. But it is not out of place. It is part of their culture. Then family dynamics. Here, it is good for you to start planning now because there is no help. You cannot put your children with the neighbors and say, "Oh, I'm coming. I want to enter market. Oh, Mama Emeka, I bet what you're picking them. Are they come? I want to enter market." There is no Emeka next door. My next door neighbor, I cannot recognize. I think it was the second year I could say this is my neighbor because everybody will enter through your garage. We don't even meet. So one day we met at the mailbox when both of us wanted to pick our mails and say hi. And I saw that he entered the room beside me. I'm like, "Oh, this is even my neighbor." In 3 years, I did not recognize who my neighbor is because everybody minds your business. So if you live in a community, maybe like a Nigerian community, that might be a little bit different, yes, but generally, everybody minds their business. So your family dynamics will definitely change. Someone has to plan who's going to be with the kids when I'm out to work. How do we manage like our time? Because somebody has to always be with the kids. You cannot leave your children alone and say you want to drive. If your husband is taking you to work, you pack all the children and take you to work and pack all the children and come back from work. You cannot leave them at home. It is illegal. They must not catch you. So family dynamics has to start. You need to start discussing family dynamics from now because you should know what you're getting yourself into. So finances. Boss mentioned a little about like taking loans and all of that. You have credit card here. You know, in Nigeria, when you want to build a house, you take cooperative, you be paying back from your salary, or you gather the money, gather. When it's time for foundation, you already have 500,000, put it, foundation. Then you do ajo, esusu, you gather. It's time for linted, you pack your 500,000. Okay, do 200 blocks. You do it, you pause. But here, you want to buy a house. There's no way you pay cash down of maybe $350,000 or $400,000 to buy a house. It is loan. You want to buy a car. Usually it is loan. Only if you buy from like Facebook Market or other forms, it is loan. So now the use of your credit card, you have to be able to plan your finances and know when to how not to over push it such that all your paychecks will not be going to bills and paying back. By the time you get your paycheck, nothing is left. You are paying bills, paying loans, paying everything. So you need to be able to plan your finances. Maybe that would be like a discussion because finances is broad. We can have that topic another time. I'm not going to go deep into it because it's broad. Then food. Here, when you are in Rome, you behave like Romans, right? They have some food. You can always get Nigerian food like everywhere. You can get Nigerian food. I live in a white dominated community. Sometimes we ship our Niger food from Texas. We have a customer in Texas. So you can get your Niger food anywhere. But now you need to at least acculturate because of your kids. There has to be a level of acculturation. There has to be a middle ground whereby your kids are not going to school and throwing up because other kids are eating food that looks like worms. So you have to be able to merge things up and know how to blend both your Nigerian food and their own type of food here, especially for the sake of the kids. And you can't be eating eba and amala every time or rice. But so there are different types of food, and the way you combine it, the way you eat it would matter a lot. So let's go now into responsibilities of an RN, a medical surgical RN. So we've talked more like on the cultural part. So now we're going solely into like responsibilities of an RN. So I'm going to be talking about the day shift first, and then I'm going to be talking about the night shift RN. So now, responsibilities of a day shift nurse. First on my list always is do not be late. Because one thing is when you are late, sometimes you're already starting your day in a disorganized way. You're not like coordinated enough to start your day. So do not be late. So when you get to work, first thing is to print out your sheet. Look at your patient assignment. Which patient am I getting today? Who am I responsible for? Maybe 4 patients, 5 patients, 6 patients, depending on your facility and their protocol, their nurse to patient ratio. So you look at your assignment and then you print out your sheet. We call like something an assignment sheet. You log into your computer, you click on the patients that are assigned to you, and then you print out a sheet. That sheet has like a summary of the patient. It has the name of the patient, MRN, that's medical record number, the date of birth of the patient, the code status of your patient, and the age, name, date of birth, allergies. Sometimes it depends on how you organize. You know, something about EMR is that you can organize your own screen to have the basic things you need when you get to work. But every patient's list would have their name, their date of birth, medical record number, their allergies, and their code status, either full code or DNR. So you know when to call a code on the patient and when not to. So those things will be on your sheet, and then you can print off your sheet and just take a quick glance at your paper or your sheet. And when you get to work early, you can quickly take a glance at the orders, like what is going on with this patient, what has been going on with this patient, just like a summary that we always put on the sheet for each patient. This patient came in with this, had right-sided weakness. CT scan showed that they have left ischemic hemorrhage, and the patient is here for rehabilitation. Now I'm in the rehabilitation unit, but okay, the patient has had this, the patient went to biplane or had TNK, and the patient is aphasic. Like there's going to be that little short summary on your sheet so you know who you're going in to meet. So now the handoff or the taking over process. So if you're the oncoming nurse, you're taking over the patient, and if you're the one going home, you're handing over the patient. So when you get in the room, gel in means that you sanitize your hand. Every room should have sanitizer at the door. Once you open the door, there should be sanitizer. So gel in, sanitize your hand. As you're sanitizing your hand, introduce yourself to the patient. Hello, Mr. Jones. My name is Tolu. I'm going to be your nurse today. Then you update the board. You write your name on the board because some will say Solu. I'll say, no, Tolu, Tolu. And they're like, Solu? Well, I'll just write it on the board. It's Tolu. So I'm going to be your nurse this morning. Then you want to check that you have the correct patient. So 2 patient identifiers, check their armband. Every patient should have their armband. Now, there are instances where the patient does not have the armband on their arm. Some will have it on their leg or their ankle if they are like violent patients that are like using their teeth, on their wristband, or if they are puffy everywhere and the band is kind of like eating deep into their skin. Sometimes they might have it on their legs, but patients must have the armband on them, not on the computer, not on their beds. It has to be on the patient. Then you want to check, oh, Mr. Can you confirm your last name and date of birth for me? While checking their armband, you're listening to them. Some of them might be confused. In Medsurg area, that's even where your assessment begins. Maybe the date of birth is 2/11/1950, and the patient says 3/12/57. You're like, is it 3/12/57? Are you sure? Or like 2, then you can say the correct one. Some of them will not be able to tell you the correct one. Well, you have your sheet to check what's on your sheet and then check the patient's armband. And that's okay. Then you want to check for charms. Like charms are like little things you put on the band to tell you if they are fall risk patients, if they have allergies, or if they are DNR. I once caught a patient that did not have his DNR band on, and there was a code. After 1 hour of catching that, we would have resuscitated the patient without a DNR because he didn't have the DNR charm on his bracelet, but he is DNR. So on my sheet, I saw that patient is DNR because what happened is that he just switched to DNR that particular day. After ward round, he decided that when the doctor had explained his prognosis to him, he decided that if I could, I don't want to be brought back. I want to be DNR because of all the prognosis. So it was that day he switched to DNR. They switched it on his chart, but did not put the DNR charm on his bracelet. So I was doing, okay, during medication, I caught it during medication. I was going to scan his band before I scanned the medication. Then I saw that he did not have the DNR band, and I was looking at the computer. I saw that he had DNR on his chart and there was no DNR band. So I said I was going to come back to fix it. Sometimes Medsurg. I said I was going to come back to fix it. I forgot. I went around doing other medications. Then he had an infusion due at, I think, 11 p.m. So when I brought back the infusion again, I wanted to scan his band again. Then I told myself, girl, fix it right now. So I went out to pick the DNR charm. I put it on the patient's bracelet. After the infusion got finished, I was taking my break, I think around 1 a.m.-ish, and the CNA helped him to sit on the commode. So I was there when the CNA put him on the commode. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. I need to take my break now. Just, do you have any complaints? Are you okay? He said he was fine. I went to take my break. As I was taking my break, telemetry unit called me that patient's heart rate is dropping. I said, okay, yeah, he had some bradycardia before. What was it now? I mean, what was it at that time? They said 48. I said, okay, just let me know. I kept eating and then they called me again. They said patient's heart rate dropped to 42. I left my food. I started running to the room and it's like 2 ends. I work in a very big hospital. Before I got to the room, the CNA called the code. The CNA pulled the code because he coded on the commode. Like, as I was trying to get back to the bed, he coded, and then the CNA called the code. I was running to the room to tell them, is DNR, is DNR, is DNR, so that they will not start, yes, vascular maneuver, yes, thank you. So I was running to the room to tell them that is DNR, so that they will not start CPR, because in the hospital, both CNAs, everybody is trained to do CPR, and they were going to start CPR. I said, it's DNR. And the first question the hospitalist asked me when the code team got there is that, does he have the charm on? Are you sure it's DNR? I said, yes, he has this charm on because I just fixed it like 1 hour ago. What if I didn't fix it and they have started CPR on the patient? That is lawsuits. Forget it. The patient does not want to leave let them go. So that is the importance of checking all your charms, making sure that the patient has the right allergy false charms on their bracelet. Then you want to talk about the patient now in the room. Okay, what's going on? This patient came in with this S-bar situation background, what we're doing with the patient now. It was seen during ward round. These are the updates, the results. This lab was not looking good. His hemoglobin is low. Possibly he might have a blood transfusion. We are pending, waiting for labs, like whatever is going on with the patient. Then you should ask the patient if they have an input, like, how was your night? Did you sleep good? Is there anything you want us to know? They might tell you something. Then ask if there's anything they need, like right now. If they need something, you can call the CNA to get it for them while you move on to other patients. Then gel out. That means you sanitize your hand again as you leave the room. Now, you should check also for lines. Maybe the patient is receiving an IV. I once took over a patient and the IV was actually dropping on the floor. It was not connected to the patient. I looked up, I saw that it was connected to the bag. Oh, it's the right saline, normal saline, 0.5 at 75 mils per hour. The pump was set good and we're stepping out of the room. Then when I came back with medications, I was like, why is this floor wet? What is happening? It was actually not connected to the patient. It was right, the pump was working, it was dropping on the floor. So we need to check that it's actually connected to the patient. It's not dropping on the bed or soaking up the bed while the patient is just laying down there. You want to really see that it's connected. The IV fluid is connected, it's entering into the patient. So let's move on quickly again. Day shift also, then you want to prioritize your need after taking over all your patients. Now you want to prioritize your need. Who is going for dialysis at 7:30? You took over and the patient is going for dialysis at 7:30, you know that you should make sure that the vital signs are done, blood glucose is done, and everything. Patient is ready to go, and call the CNA. Okay, patient is ready to go to dialysis. Call the dialysis unit and give them the handoff. Sometimes you don't have to like do bedside reports for like a dialysis patient. You can give them the handoff on the phone. Then the CNA will take them to the unit. So when you prioritize, you won't be doing medication when someone is still there when they should go for dialysis. Or people that have critical labs, the night nurse is telling you that, oh, I informed the doctor of a critical lab result on this patient. The hemoglobin is 6.2. And you're sitting down, you want to do medication. You're not following up to say, what are we doing? Or checking if the order for blood has dropped. If the order has dropped, then you need to transfuse, like you need to start your day with blood transfusion. So prioritizing what you need to do based on your handoff, based on the report is very important. And some people that have possibly had like very bad blood pressures, maybe early in the day, you want to recheck. You delegate, tell your CNA, can you recheck these vitals for me, please? It was low earlier. Kindly check and let's know what it is like right now so that you know where to start your messaging the doctor from and picking up your day from. Then you want to discuss roles and delegations with your CNA. You want to brief your CNA, like have a discussion. Who's going to be my CNA today? Oh, hi. Okay, today I have these blood sugars. This person's blood sugar needs to be checked pre-meal. Please let me know. And this person's vital signs also has to be rechecked. This person is Q2 repositioning in their bed because they have a bed sore. This person has to get out of the bed for meals. They have to be 90-degree for meals. They need to sit in their chair. You want to tell your CNAs that, because if they start feeding a patient right in the bed and the person chokes, it's still on you. So if you delegate and they don't do it, but you said it, then you will know that you've said it, and then you both share the fault. But if you do not say anything to the CNA, sometimes they have zero idea about these patients, or they don't take like handoff seriously like nursing. So you need to brief them what is going on so you're on the same page. Then you want to go through the orders and the last notes, like last rounding. What is going on with the patient? What are the current things that you need to do for this patient? Then you need to fill out your worksheet. Everybody has the way they organize their worksheets. Sometimes you have like daily cares, medications, checks on your worksheet. When you get into orientation, some of us like just adopt one of our preceptors' worksheets. Like when you see that their worksheet is good, it has all you need, you can possibly adopt and add your own. So sometimes you want to check for those that are on fluids. Fluids, you want to make sure that the bag does not run out. Sometimes it does. Or the last time they changed the IV tubing, you want to note that change IV tubing on your own worksheet. PTT results. Sometimes we miss PTT results. You know, it's every 6 hours. I mean, after an intervention, you need to know the next time it to be checked, because lab may not call you to report it. So you need to check that result to know if you're going to like modify the heparin infusion. So you note it at so time, check labs, check PTT results. Medications are very important. Maybe the person needs to be pre-medicated before wound comes to open up their wound or something. Write it pre-medication at so time. Bladder scanning. So people are on Q6 bladder scanning, Q4 bladder scanning. You need to note the last time it was checked, and then the next time you have to check it. Bladder scan at 2 a.m., bladder scan at 3 p.m. Then your rounding times. As much as possible, days for my facility, you round every hour. But usually every hour you have like something to do already, maybe medication time, dressing time, and all of that. Then for nights, we round every 2 hours. So there has to be a chart, your documentation that shows that every 2 hours, someone was in the room. For my facility, it doesn't have to be the nurse that has to be there every 2 hours, but the nurse must check that the CNA documents that they rounded every 2 hours. If not, you can also round and put in your own documentation. So, but there has to be a documentation that every 2 hours somebody checked on this patient. Then you want to go ahead with your medication, your assessments, your education. You know that in the US, nurses do assessments, like you do your head to toe, quick head to toe assessment, depending on the patient. Some are neuro patients, then you have to do all the neuro checks. Can you squeeze? Do they have like tremors? Are they do they know where they are, like oriented times 4? Do you know where you are right now? What's your name and date of birth? Who is the president? What time of the day is it? Is it like morning or night, or what month are we? You want to check all of those things and record. You want to like listen to their heart and lungs and then record. Documentation is key. It's very, very important. Then your education on the go, like you're giving a patient medication, you tell them, oh, today, this morning you have Eliquis. Eliquis is a blood thinner. It's going to help you. You have this poke, is Lovenox. It goes in your belly. It's a little stinger, but it goes in your belly. It's going to help you not to have blood clots while you're here. And you have this Senna. It's a stool softener. It makes sure that you don't strain when you're going. Just one sentence about each medication makes you exceptional, just helps the patient to be on the same page. And that's part of education. You're telling them already, as you're doing medication, you are educating them. Then I would want you to call whenever you need to get up, because we don't want you to fall. If you fall, then this situation is going to be terrible than it is right now. So whenever you need to get up or do something, this is your call button. Please remember to call. Always educate them. And then your wound dressing. If you have dressing, you can do that. Repositioning of patients to prevent bed sores, very, very important. Intake and output, ensure that it is done. Usually CNAs do intake and output, but ensure that it is done. You have Foley cares, CHG, line cares, some have peak line. You can, like, they may be due to for change of dressing, tubing changes for the IVs, tube feeding, track care, suctioning of patients. Those are like your regular RN roles, depending on which patient you have and the patient load you have. Then rounds, you do ward rounds with the doctors. You basically tell them about your patient, how they are doing through the night, or what was handed off to you, or what we are working on right now. Usually in my facility, there's going to be like the social worker, the pharmacy, the doctor, and the nurses that do rounds together. So it's like a round table thing. You go in, you sit down, there's coffee, there's chocolate, there's anything you want to have while you're doing your rounds. Then we discuss. It's like a conference, and then they go into the room to see the patients and give them updates. Then you prepare for handoff, you update your nurse's notes at the end of the day. Now, I'll quickly digress to talk about patient assignment. If you feel that your patient assignment is too heavy, like only you have all of these busy patients, you are doing track care, you are running around, while someone just has hospice patients, like person has 2 hospice patients and maybe 1 regular patient, and you are running around, sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Maybe the charge nurse. You see everybody sitting down, you're the only one running around, delegate. Someone just needs stool softener. So, can you please give this medication to the patient in room, whatever, for me? It's okay to ask for help. Then sometimes if it's consistently, you see that your patient load or patient assignment is always unfair, you're the one like running around, bring it up with your manager that I believe, but have instances, have your examples, have what what would I say now? Have your own information at hand, what you used to like defend your self those accusations that your patient assignment has not been fair. Of course, they have the list. They can look back and see, then reshuffle the team. Don't just be running around and suffering while like other people have fair assignment. They can mix it up. You can speak to, yes, I have your proof, thank you. They can mix it up. You can speak to your charge nurse that, can we shake up this assignment a little? I think my team is busy. It's okay. Everybody does it now and then. Like, tell your charge nurse, I think my team is busy. Can we shake up this assignment a little? Like, some will be reasonable enough to do that. If consistently they do not do it, take it up to your manager and usually have your proofs, have your emails. Communicate in professional manner, not just verbal communication every time. Send them emails so that they can see. Send them emails so that when you have like things to talk about, they need to have you need to have your proofs of how many times you've brought it up if you think you are being treated unfairly or unjustly. Oh gosh, our time is up. Okay, so now responsibility of RN at night. Don't be late. The same handoff process. Prioritize your care, your medication, your assessment and education. Patient repositioning. Usually some patients are neglected at night because they are sleeping. You just leave them to sleep through the night and their skin becomes like so bad, like night after night. Maybe you work 3 nights and you're not touching them at night. Some patients will outrightly refuse repositioning. Document patient refused repositioning, but go to the room and try to help them. Some have dementia. They may refuse, but it's not like the best for them. At least in a 12-hour shift, do it 2 times. Don't say because patient refused. You did not escalate. I did not do anything about it. Educate, escalate, let them know why, and report to the manager to also talk to them. Don't outrightly leave them alone, because if they come down with source, it still comes down to you. They will ask, who did you tell? Who did you talk to when the patient kept refusing repositioning? Your bed alarms at night, some people sundown, we call it sundowning. At night, when they behave like irrational or confused, some because they don't know where they are, they just want to get up and go to the bathroom. They think they're still in their houses. Your bed alarms, all your safety checks at night, very important as a night nurse. Your 4 precautions. Are there spills on the floor? Do they have IVs that are running and tubes that can tangle? And your bed alarms must be on. Sometimes, like we have video monitors in our facility for those with high fall risk. The video monitor must be on and it must be working. Do a check with the control room to know that they can see the patient. So when the patient is like trying to ruffle or get to the edge of his bed, because sometimes the bed alarm will ring, but the patient is already on the floor. The alarm is going off, but patient is on the floor, yeah, because the patient maybe kicked their legs out of the bed and then rolled over. Then the bed alarm starts going off. Before you run to the room, patient is on the floor. So we use that video monitor as well for patients. So make sure all of those things are working. For night nurses, very important. When you do your checks at night, you want to assess, do they have pain? Do they need to go to the bathroom? Because those are the reasons for falls. They want to get up and go to the bathroom. So you can help them quickly go to the bathroom when you do your round, so they don't like try to get up and fall. Then line draws, some that have peak lines, you want to draw labs in the morning for before the day begins. So now I'm rushing, I'm almost done. And okay, boss, I'm already in other responsibilities. So other responsibilities, communication, using your S bar, that's, I know like all of us should be conversant with that right now. Taking your breaks, please, it's okay to take your breaks. Don't go on 12 hours, 8 hours without taking your breaks when it's appropriate. Some shifts are like crazy busy that you don't get your breaks. But when it's appropriate, when you can breathe for some 30 minutes, please take your breaks. It helps you. Reporting errors. If you made an error here, like nobody's out there to like nail you. There are things in place to make sure that your errors are mostly for education, not to take your license. If that's the way they take licenses, how many nurses will be left in the US? Nobody is really out there, except if it's like a deliberate, intentional, gross incompetence. There are some things that are gross incompetence, yes, but report errors, like you gave a wrong medication. I once gave a patient a full dose of trazodone instead of breaking it in half. After scanning it, I was called, like pharmacy sent up another medication. So I went out of the room to pick the last medication. When I came back, I just opened everything and then gave the patient. I forgot that trazodone was meant to be cut. I reported it. And it was like they even gave me like a recognition for reporting an error. So they won't take my license because of trazodone. And I told the patient as well, I said, I gave you a full dose of trazodone. You may sleep more tonight. I'm so sorry about that. The way you present it also matters. So sometimes it's okay to tell the patient as well. Sometimes you may need to tell family, maybe a patient fell or a patient died. You may need to like tell family, like the those family on the HIPAA, of course, the patient POA of the patient and all of that. So you need to communicate these things. Nobody's out there to take your license. But if there are safety concerns, or if anybody, if you have any form of violence, maybe a patient's family like yelled at you or like talked about your color, is like being like racist to you, reports. There are reporting mechanisms in every hospital. Report those things, and then if there's any confrontation or anything with a patient, please always call security. Use your security button. There are, like, I know all hospitals should have that. It's like a safety thing. Let me see if my badge is here. It's like a safety thing, and then you can press your duress button for help. So yeah, I have my badge. So you can press your duress button for help at any time. If like something is going on, you can press the duress button and then you get help. So different facilities have how you can get help. Don't let somebody hit you. Don't let somebody at the end of the day, they'll say maybe the person has mental problem and you will bear the brunt. So don't let anybody come close to hitting you on the job. It is not allowed. Call security, call for help immediately. Let your colleagues, everybody come into the room and know like something is going on. Then calling a code is based on your facility protocol. You learn that during your orientation. Last office, nurses confirm death. Mostly that I know in my facility, nurses confirm death. So 2 nurses, you check the pupils and all of that. Don't wait for doctor to come and confirm it. I also had that experience when I just started. I was waiting for the doctor. Patient has died, I'll come and confirm so that we'll do last office. So that's story for another day. Then hospice and comfort care, know the difference and what to do for the patients. Discharge process, especially morning nurses, day shift nurses, know where a patient is going home, going to a skilled nursing facility, assisted living facility, and how to arrange their medication. Some we may have to call the pharmacy. So when they leave the hospital, they pick up their medication at the pharmacy. And then some you have to fix their follow-up appointments. So discharge process is also like a cascade of things you need to do. You learn that as well during orientation. Communication with with family requires that the patient, the family you want to talk to, or anybody that calls to know anything about the patient, they must be in their HIPAA. They must be there. They must be on the patient's file as contacts of the patient. Do not talk to someone that is not in the patient's chart as a contact. You can tell them to hold on. Hello, my name is Jane. Can I know updates on patient in room 220? And you're like, oh, Jane, okay, give me a minute, please. They know that it's normal hospital protocol for you to check the chart, that name is there for you to speak with. You can just open the chart. Okay, I'll be with you. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to pull up the chart here. What did you say your name is? Jane? Okay, Jane what? Jane Brooklyn? Oh, okay, I see you. So Jane, then you can talk about the patient. Yes, the blood hemoglobin is coming up right now. The labs are looking better and he's speaking better now. He ate half of his lunch or he ate most of his dinner. Then you can give them the updates, but make sure to check. They also know that it is legal that you check the patient chart before you say anything to anybody. And there are some patients that are private, confidential patients. It's going to be flagging on their charts that this patient is confidential patient. That means do not say anything about the patient to anybody. Like if the president calls, you say you don't know about the patient, you don't know if the patient is in the hospital, that you are not sure. Maybe they should call the help desk or something that you do not know anything about the patient. You deny the patient point blank. You cannot give any information to anybody once they say confidential encounter. If not, you'll be in trouble for it. If they say they are their parent and his mother, no, I don't know the patient. I don't think they are here. Maybe you can check another facility. Thank you for calling. That's it. So last thing on my list is extra shifts. Now, picking up extra shifts, sometimes these things will come up but you need to like balance your health, your family, and then because in America, like they have things that are beautiful, things are good. If anything happens, helicopter can carry someone from another state, fly you. But by the time the bills start dropping, hey, it's gonna be a lot of trouble. The bills are as big as the facilities and the technology, the bills, despite that you have medical insurance. So you don't want to fall sick. You don't want to fall sick. You don't want to break down. But if it ever happens, of course, you get the best care, but you want to maintain your health as much as possible. So see how it works for you. See how it works for your family. Be careful with picking up too much shift than your health can carry. So in conclusion, being diligent and focused with a touch of emotional intelligence will help you to navigate your first month and many more months in the US. There will be overwhelming situations at work or out of work environment, but make sure you breathe, think, have a go-to person, and do not speak when you're not ready to, no matter what the situation is. Even when you're at fault, or if you're not at fault, they are bringing it to you. What did you do? How did you do this? Do not speak when you're ready to. Compose yourself, think, call someone, ask for help to see how you construct your statement before you talk, because whatever you say can be used against you. Most importantly, you will be all right. Thank you so much, and happy Nurses Week in advance.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a great one. And you know, it kept going and I was feeling like you shouldn't stop. Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Now it's gonna be time for question. Let's bring it down a little bit. I know a lot of people are out there listening. If you know you're getting value for this meeting, if you know that you have actually gotten one or two things that you know, kind of sounds like a benefit to you, kindly go to the comment section on the comment section. Please kindly type value on the comment section. We want to make sure that we are actually adding value to everyone that is in this meeting. Okay, thank you so much, Nurse Tolu. Thank you for bringing that Medsurg lifestyle real to us. It's more real than how we know it. Thank you so much. So now we're going to, be asking a little question just to bring in, we said it's going to be real life experience. So now we're going to do the real life experience part of it. All right. And I'm going to start with my own question because right now it looks like we are in the age where a lot of nurses are more of content creators. Okay. So many people are more of anything they see is content. They go to the hospital, they see a patient is content. Some of these things are, it's somehow automatic. You don't even know when you just bring out your phone and start recording. You understand? So I just wanted to ask a question, and I'm asking this question not to our guests, but to those on the call, everyone that is on the call. So if you see a situation in the hospital and you were able to capture it with your phone, or maybe you go to a hospital, first day of work, and a patient so liking you, wants to take a picture with you, took a picture with you, should you, it's a patient now, and sometimes it becomes friends. So can you post that picture on your social media? Can you post that picture on your social media handle? Question, guys, I'm asking. Can you post a picture that you took with a patient on your social media handle? I need answers, guys. I need answers. Please, I need answers on the comment section. Are they answering me? Oh, okay. I see a lot of no. Without consent, no, you can't. Okay, so yes, everybody is saying no. Wow, we have very intelligent people right here. Very, very intelligent. Now, let's twist it a little bit. We're going to twist it. It's against HIPAA. Thank you so much. We're going to twist it a little bit, okay? So you went for a conference like a nurses gathering, and then there were a lot of nurses right there, and you took pictures of everyone. Do you need a consent to post those pictures on your social media handle? Do you need a consent? This thing happened in the hospital. It's a gathering of everybody. Can you post those pictures on your social media handle without any consent, or do you need a consent to do that? Okay. I need answers. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So okay, you need a consent, you do need a consent. So now I would like Nurse Tolu to kind of, I know you have had scenarios and instances where people have been so getting into the social media, even at work or trying to become content creators. It's good when you see some of those equipments and all that, and then you take a video of it, or you kind of trying to know things, and then if it's just a video, what are you supposed to be watching out for if you're making a video in the hospital so that you don't kind of get in trouble? What do you think? And what should you be watching out for?
Yeah, one, phones are not allowed in the hospital. Your personal phones are not allowed in the hospital. That's for certain. So whatever thing you picture you take, if it's on your personal phone, it must not contain any patient information or any patient's picture at all. So if, for example, somebody is leaving the hospital and you take pictures with your friends, oh, final day at work, oh, we're going to miss you and all of that, you need to still ask. There was a case, this one was even in my church, that somebody posted a church picture like happy birthday with hot cake, and we have whites in my church. And one of us took exceptions to that, that she does not like that he posted her on his Facebook page. It was like a general picture. It was not only her, but she was in the picture, and he posted it that, oh, church celebrated with me. Thank you to so church for celebrating my birthday with me. And she was in the picture. She said she didn't know. She's not a social media person, and she would not have liked to be there. That she wouldn't have taken the picture if she knew that he was going to. That's even like out of hospital, not to talk of hospital. So you never know how people feel about that, their personal preferences. So if they give their consent, if you tell them that, oh, I might be posting this on my social media page, is it okay? And the verbal consent is enough. With colleagues now, with patients, there is no level of consent that is enough. Do not, because even if they don't want to drag you, people that like lawsuit a lot, they will go and instigate them to drag you. So even verbal consent is not enough to post anything about the patient. You can post the hospital you work in. Like my hospital was celebrating 50 years of EGO, that's the flight nurses, and I reposted just the same message. I just reposted, oh, great job, flight nurses. I value what you do. Like a lot of respect and shout out to flight nurses. That was the hospital's post, just reposted with my own comments. That's okay. But not anything that has to do with patient, not anything that shows the patient's chart. Maybe you're snapping yourself at work selfie, and then there's a chart open in front of you or behind you. You can be nailed for that. So even the verbal consent is not enough to post anything that concerns patient. If it's colleague, a verbal consent might be enough.
Yeah, because I know a lot of nurses in the UK that has been in trouble for doing this. Like some of your colleagues actually, sometimes you just need to know your hospital policy. Some hospitals, they say no use of phone, and you just want to kind of, sneak out and start using phone. Somebody sees you, even the person that you think is your friend, don't worry, she's not going to report me. Don't, don't always assume, because some of those people will go ahead and just report you and you'll be in trouble. All right. I just want to talk about the extra shift. I heard a very, very sad story about a nurse, God bless her soul, that died in the UK. She's a single lady. She finished working. From the story, it looked like she was working extra. So she finished working, was in her room, died about 3 or 4 days. Nobody saw her, until they started looking for her. That was very, very pathetic. So please, for some of you that are coming to the US without a spouse, that somebody that can, look after you or check on you, if you're working so hard like that, please, please kindly take care of yourself. Okay, a channel cannot run dry of its content. So always have this. When you come to the US, always have this. I'm encouraging everybody that is here. Always get yourself this. It's less than $50. Okay, get this. Check your blood pressure every time. See, I work too hard too. I work so hard myself, but I keep it on my desk every time I feel like I'm dizzy or something like that. I just slip my hand in and check my BP, okay? And then always try to stay hydrated every time. Try to stay hydrated, because a lot of the times you might think because you are in a conditioned environment, you're not sweating, you would think you're not losing fluid, but actually you are. So always try to stay hydrated. But still, go ahead. You have your hand raised up.
Okay, so I wanted to add also that sometimes some things are not luxury here. They're very important. Like your watch, you should try as much as possible to get a smartwatch. There are different grades and there are some cheaper ones. You can even get it so that, like, there was a day my watch was telling me that SOS, this person might need an emergency service. And I was like, I don't need an emergency service. It's my baby that is stressing me. I think I was like too excited. My heart rate like went up or something. It was So sometimes like it detects hard falls and all of that. It's not luxury, it's just necessary sometimes. Like maybe if she had slumped or fell, our watch would call SOS, will call 911 or something. So sometimes all those gadgets too are not like luxury, they are just important because of the type of work you do. And sometimes this money that we don't want to spend, someone coughs at home and tell you, I'm coughing, no, I need so. You will just quickly transfer. You that you have not spent on your own body that you're using to do the work, immediately you're like, they said she's coughing. She's been coughing since yesterday. You will do the transfer. So let us also like help ourselves and manage our health with all of this technology and gadgets that we have, as much as we're using our bodies to do the work.
All right. Thank you so much. That's lovely. And one last thing I want to chip in there is, once you start working in the US, one of the things that they must get before you work is a medical or health insurance. But I noticed, I've asked a lot of people don't even use it because they are busy working. You understand? They are busy working. And one of the things I want to also let you know is that if you want to use that health insurance, you have to call your doctor's office like 6 months before. Because before you even get in a doctor's list to see a doctor just casually, it's going to be like 6 months. They are all booked like six months away. You understand? So once you come in, you get your health insurance, make sure that you're booking your appointment with a medical practitioner that you're going to see, so that in 6 months' time, you're going there to see that medical practitioner, to have your health checked. If not, you're going to be paying health insurance for free. You should be paying for other people that are sick. In fact, here in the US, for those people that work in the OR, like Stephanie for last, most times they will see higher volume of patients towards the end of the year because they've already made contributions towards their health plan and they want to just make use of those contributions they've made. A lot of people schedule cosmetic surgeries towards the end of the year because they just want to take up all the insurances they've paid. They just want to make sure that they get it before. When it's next year, they have to start again to make contribution for a fresh year, and that increases their copay. There's something they call copay. We're going to talk about insurance. Insurance is a broad topic. There's something called copay, which is the amount that you have to pay up to, and you pay nothing. You understand? If you pay up to that amount, then you don't have to pay, so much if you're doing any surgery. So when you have not contributed to that amount, you would be paying more. So most people wait until they contribute to that amount. So towards the end of the year, they go ahead and get their surgeries done or get one procedure or the other done. So make sure you use your medical or your health insurance, your dental insurance. Those people, yes, make sure that you always go to see your dentist, and your vision. These are the 3 things they will give you: health plan, mental, they want to say mental insurance, but there's nothing like that. Dental insurance, health insurance, and vision insurance. So please make sure that you get the 3 of that. Okay, I'm going to open up the call lines, guys. So if you have any question about Medsurg, I would like you to ask your question now. Any question you have about the Medsurg, from badge in to badge out, from clock in to clock out, anything that you feel like you have a question in, I would really want you to, use the reaction button, raise up your hand. I'll give you the opportunity to open up your mic for you, and then you can ask your question. And I know that we have a lot of people on the call today. We were almost about 130 people. I want to also make sure that you know that you can also be getting our link from our WhatsApp group directly. If only you can click on the link that we have posted on the comment section, you will be directly added to a group where we post all these links. So you'll be having programs like this every Friday, where we come to, kind of give you ideas or things that you need to do in order for you to be successful when you come to the US. We don't want you to make the same mistakes that we made. That's why I'm bringing to this seminar all the people that I know that has solid, wealth of knowledge that can really, explain things for you the way they are. So if you have any question, you can use the reaction button and raise your hand, or you can ask it on the comment section, and we can take the question there. All right, then, Bostolu, one of the other questions I want you to kind of, talk on is aggression. That's a lot of things those in the OR don't see it, okay? In the OR, Patients come into the OR almost already on anesthesia, okay? And then when they are leaving, they are already sleeping. So we don't have to deal with patient relative. We don't deal with patient aggression. But I know in Medsurg floor, one of the major things that they deal with a lot is patient or patient relative aggression. I will come to that question. I have a question on that, how we deal with that, patient relative or patient aggression. But before we do that, I would like Rosalind to ask a question. I don't want her to disappear on me. So Rosalind, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, okay?
Good evening by my time.
Good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay, Rosalind, go ahead with your question.
Please, how many hours per shift and how many days per day the nurses per week, sorry, the nurses work?
Okay, sounds good. I'll leave that for Tolu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rosalind, for that question. Depending on usually for agency nurses, we are employed on full-time basis. So full-time means that you're obligated to work 3 12s. Like I said, depending on the facility, yes, like I 100% agree that Medsurg is the most stressful so far that I know. Medsurg is the most stressful unit to work on, but it's versatile, it's fast paced. So yes, so Rosalind, usually it's 12 hours shift and you're obligated to work 3 shifts a week. So you can do 3 12s every week and then you get your break, but with weekends. So now the weekend is that some facilities do alternate weekends, some do every third weekend. So you're obligated to work at least 1 or 2 weekends in a month, but full time is 12 hours shift mostly. There is the 8 hours shift as well, that if you're doing 8 hours shift and you're on like 36 hours, you can work 5 8s. So 5 8 hours in a week and you're done. But usually it's mostly 12 hours shift. But if maybe you have a baby and you want to step down on 12s, you want to cut it to 8 hours, then you can do 8 hours shifts like 5 times a week. Some exceptions and twisting of shifts can happen. You can plan your shift to like run. There was a time I was on only weekend shifts. My husband worked out of town, so he comes home every Thursday. He could work from home only once a day or once a week, so he works from home on Fridays. When it comes on Thursday, then I start my shift Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's it. And I'm off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Constantly, I ran that for like 6 months. So I worked only 3 days, Thursdays, Friday, Saturday. That was all. And I'm off for the rest of the week. So that worked with our own schedule. So sometimes you can plan your shift based on your life peculiarities, but usually it's 12 hours or 8 hours. Then when you're PRN, you can freestyle whichever way. You can do 4 hours and then whatever works for you. But usually you start with 12 hours, then 3 times a week, depending on what the facility looks like, or 8 hour shift 5 times a week.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. So is it that you're working 36 hours or you're working 40 hours? Both of them are regarded as full-time, okay? Is it that you're working 36 or you're working 40 hours a week? You understand? I know a lot of people want to get, what do you call it, extra time, because extra time is a pay and half. But just like Tolu said, be careful with that, because there's an adage from my community where I come from. It says that someone who has died will be tired of sleeping sometime, So sometimes you feel like I want to sleep, you will get it, extra time, you will get it, because most hospitals here are short-staffed. Like they will be begging you you to come and work. I've heard several stories. I've heard stories of somebody who finished night shift, like 7 days stretch night shift. So that morning that she finished night shift, she was running to go back to her home country, I think either Nigeria or Ghana, and she died in the airport. She collapsed and died in the airport. So guys, why do people chase a lot of things, when you can actually calm down, take good care of yourself, and achieve all those things with proper planning? If you plan very well, you can, it's not about working hard, but working smart. You will come to that stage where you will know what the difference between working hard and working smart. Okay, so if you come to that stage, you will realize that you have been wasting your effort, putting a lot of hard work to things that are not relevant. So please kindly try as much as possible to know that you have to build yourself first before you build others, because that's the pressure. Once that pressure is coming from people around you, oh, they need to do this, they need to do this. It happens to everybody. Nobody is a saint, even me. Sometimes the pressure is much and I just kind of close my ear a little bit, because you cannot carry the problem of the whole world. When you build yourself, when you're standing, that's when you can help someone else. But if you know you're not standing and you're trying to help, you can stress yourself out. You understand? So we are saying this, we know the reason why we are saying it, because people are not calling you now because you're still back home in your home country. By the time you leave your home country, they give you like 2 weeks, they will call you. Like when we got to the US, my wife wasn't working and I was working, and somebody just from nowhere called and said, she needed that. And my wife said, oh, I'm not working yet. And the person said, how? How can you be in the US and you're not working? The person couldn't understand it. The person just couldn't understand how you can be in the US and not work. So when you come to the US, there are different things that you're going to be faced with. You're going to get your driver's license. You're going to get your social security number. You're going to get your job. You will have an orientation date. You can't just wake up and go to work and start working. They have different days that they do orientation, because it has to align with the payday of that hospital. So if the hospital always pays every 2 weeks, you can't come in the middle and join and say, I'm going to get paid for 1 week. No, they will have to plan it so that you join at a time that the next pay period, you'll be able to get your paycheck. So those are the things that you have to put into consideration. If you don't put all those things into consideration and you borrow money from people, ask people that you're going to give them that money, 2 weeks, you are in the US, you're already paying back, you might be surprised that in 2 weeks, in 1 month, you haven't even made a dime. You may just be still spending. So that's why I always tell people, make plan when you're coming to the US. At least make plan to sustain yourself for at least 3 weeks to at least maybe 3 to 6 weeks. You understand? To be able to sustain yourself with whatever cash that you have, because things can have a little twist. Your social security number can take a longer time to come out, and that means you're not going to be working. You understand? And trust me, you will never think of calling back home to get funds from back home to sustain yourself. But immediately it starts going well for you, then you start sending. I'm not trying to create an enmity between you and back home. I love back home. I like investing back home. I like doing a lot of things for people back home. But I also want to make sure that people who do that are strong enough to do it today, do it tomorrow, and do it next tomorrow. Not you do it today, tomorrow you die, and that person finds another person that will be doing it for him. You got to take care of yourself. That's just the essence of what I'm saying. All right, so do you have any other question on the comment section? Somebody is asking, is it true that working in the Medsurg is the most stressful in the US? I don't know. We have to invite all our guests. They will come for a roundtable debate. Yeah, I don't know if you want to respond to that.
Yeah, I think to have a round discussion wouldn't be a bad idea of like different facilities. But so far, I know Medsurg is the craziest place to work. I had to step down to rehab.
From emergency room.
I had to step down to rehab. That's what my contract. Something about emergencies is like they go high, and then when they stabilize the patient, they move. They can't like calm down. They go high. Then Medsurg is constantly running. Like I just understand it because I had to come down to rehabilitation units because I was just done. So, but that's why I said we may have to have different people from, but every work is tasking. Even in rehab last weekend, they've been begging me to pick up shifts because I have 4 days off, and I said no. Like I just need to recover from my last 3 shifts because it was crazy. Because something about rehab is that they think we're not so busy, so they don't staff us enough. We did not have a CNA, and I had like 6 patients. And those 6 patients were we have tube feedings, we had like infusions, so it was just a lot. We had dialysis, rehabilitation. Yeah, rehabilitation care is like after the acute phase. Sorry, that's another question. I just wanted to touch on it because I saw it flash on my screen. Someone said I should talk about rehabilitation center. So my hospital has a rehab unit. After the acute phase of their stroke, usually patients don't stay long in the hospital until they fully 100% recover. they just like, usually the length of stay, we want to keep it 4 days at maximum. So when they are able to tolerate like physical therapy, that they just need to start using their limbs again, to start walking again, using crutches, using canes and all of that, they move them to rehabilitation units. But some people still have their peg tubes in place because they still can't swallow. So we still do peg tube feeding. Some have like tracheostomy that just came out. So we have to do track care, make sure that the dressing is good. Some still have their groin sites from maybe cath lab, maybe they did cardiac test. I mean, cardiac catheterization, sorry. Some still have their chest tube from their sternal incisions from a cabbage, open heart surgery, and they are in rehabilitation. So you still do all those med-surg things, but usually their day is filled up with therapy, speech therapists to see them, physical therapists to see them, occupational therapists to see them. So it's not called nursing, and then they just need help with movement, with getting back to their day-to-day activities so that they can be discharged. So it's like a little step down from the rumble and the ruffle of med-surg to get this patient back, like a recovery unit, thank you, to get this patient back to functioning as much as possible. Some will still get discharged to assisted living facilities. Some will still get discharged to nursing homes, to then some will still have to go home with family. They can't live on their own yet. So we'll determine where they go after rehabilitation, depending on how they do. So I hope that answers your question.
So much. When you said that they called you to take some extra shift and you said no, I know some people will be saying, this lady should better come back. Let's exchange. I'm going to take all their shifts. I'll tell them to go home. I'll take care of the hospital. It's always like that. People always feel like that, but don't worry. By the time
you see what you run.
Yeah. By the time you get here, you stay here for like a month or two, then you decide if you really want it. Because when you get to work, you will work. When you get to work,
exactly,
you will work. That's it. That's one thing about the US. It's not
yeah,
where
but I want to chip in something. Like if you are like a DNS, a PNO, like a principal nursing officer, CNO, DDNS, apologies, Mars, you need to start practicing how to work, because if you say you're on a 12-hour shift, trust me, you are on your feet for that 12 hours. You are working for that 12 hours. I remember back in Nigeria, then we could take breaks. Me, I would switch, go and sleep for like 1 hour. Somebody would be there with the patient, then you switch again, you sleep for another 1 hour, you switch. That one does not apply here. You are responsible for a patient for that 12 hours, and that's the way it is. So when it is work, it is work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, the other time Stephanie was telling us about, you know, having like 15,000 steps each time she goes to work. She's going to get like 15,000 steps on her watch. So when she goes to work, she expects that she's going to work. So that's the thing. So I just want us to be aware of that. All right. I don't have a name for you, but your phone is Samsung. I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question. Yeah, you raised your hand. You can ask your question. We're gradually coming to the end of this meeting, and you know, we'll get a final word from our presenter today. All right. So do you have are you able to unmute? I've asked you to unmute so you can ask.
Yes, I have.
Go ahead. Where are you calling us from?
Thank you very much, Mr. Decency. I'm calling from Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay. Go ahead with your question.
I didn't join the meeting early enough, but the question I have is about specializing, like career pathway. I don't know if while we are on contract assignment, because I'm a med-surg nurse, and I've heard all what people are saying about med-surg. It's not scary for me because currently in my hospital, I'm already doing 16-hour shift at night. So 12 hours is not a big deal. If I can survive for 16 hours in Nigeria, I think I can do. I mean, and that's 16 hours, you're taking deliveries, you're doing all sorts, you know, in my facility. So it's not scary for me. So, however, I just want to ask about the how to specialize, because me, I know that I would want to specialize and just divert a bit from this med-surg field. So I don't know what you could tell me, what the prospects are, because my passion actually is tilting towards NP program, and from there I'll just keep going. So I don't know how soon or what other prospects I have if I come over there. Thank you.
All right, let me take that question. So it depends on where you want to go. So US, one of the things I love about US is that it gives you a lot of career pathway. And then you can easily become a doctor in your field, like doctor of nursing practice. You can easily become that by just following a particular pathway and just, going through it. Like you said, you want to be a nurse practitioner, fine and good. So once you come in here, if you have done your BSN, fine. But if you haven't, you can do your BSN in 1 year. There's a lot of people who are going through universities like Grand Canyon University. You can go there, do your BSN in 1 year. So far, you have passed NCLEX. You do it in 1 year.
I have BSc, I have Masters, and I've passed NCLEX. Good
job. So now is a time for you to do your MP. You do your MP, Nurse Practitioner Program. And then if you get one thing I'll ask you is once you get an admission, ask them to see if they can give you credits for your Masters from Nigeria. So because sometimes people don't ask questions and they don't get it. Some university might give you some credits to non-nursing core subjects. You understand that you have done in your Masters. They can give you credits for it so that the courses that you will do will be less. And here you pay per course. So each course you're doing is what you're paying for. So that will reduce your overall student loan that you're going to owe at the end of the day. So ask them for that. Always ask for credit if they can transfer some of your credit from back home. That is very, very good. And then another thing I wanted to also say, so if you come, you get into a program, there's a lot of universities that do the MP program, depending on which MP you want to do, whether it's family nurse practitioner, mental health nursing, whether it's acute care nursing, whether it's going into CRNA, becoming a nurse anesthetist, all of that are pathways that you can follow. There are many more. There is geriatrics, there is intensivist. There's a lot that you can become. So when you decide which one you want to go with, then you apply for it, follow through with it. At the end of it, some of the program will also have a channel for you to also go further and do your doctor in nursing practice. But I've seen a lot of people who have become MP, because of how litigative community we live in, the kind of litigations that are around, and being that they themselves, they have not really felt like they have a good grip of what they want to do. They find themselves still working in the floor as just floor nurses, So most times it will take you putting passion to what you're doing. If you really have passion for mental health nursing, then you go into it, then you'll be able to learn on it. And then when you come out, you can easily go and transition and become a nurse practitioner in mental health. But if you don't, those times, go ahead.
Yes, please. I just wanted to ask, do they can I be in Nigeria and run this program as an online course, or I have to be there face on?
Yeah, you have to be here because there is a practicum requirement of some of those courses. And because of that practicum requirement, they can't even admit you into the program if they are not sure that you can fulfill the practicum requirement. Even if you tell them, I promise you, I'm coming next week. No, until you come, that's when you can apply for some of the MP programs. Because most of their practicum is going to be in the US. So you cannot be in Nigeria and doing practicum here in the US. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's in a nutshell the answer to your question. I have Ifeoma also. Did that answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's hear from Ifeoma. Ifeoma, you have a question. Go ahead with your question.
Good evening, Decency.
Good evening. Where are you calling from, Ifeoma?
I'm calling from Kebbi State, Nigeria.
Oh, wow. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I hope you're safe. I hope that area is okay.
Yeah, it's relatively safe.
Don't mind me. What we hear here is bad news. That's the only thing we hear. We don't hear any good news. Always everything that is carried down in the social media about some certain part of different countries in Africa is bad news. They don't say the good things about Africa. I hope somebody can just wake up one day and say very good things about where we come from, because it helps us that are living abroad. All right, go ahead with your question, Ifeoma.
Okay, my question is, I got my license in 2022. I've done my internship, BSc in nursing. I've done my internship. I've served because I have a first degree. Nursing is my second degree. I've served during my first degree, so I didn't serve now. I finished my internship. I've been on and off work, like I've not gotten a permanent job. So some of the jobs I get is like locum or maybe coming to replace someone in private facilities. Like over here in Kebbi, they don't have big private hospital like we have in other big cities because Kebbi is a small town. It's a very small town, and will I say the state is a bit backward in terms of development and business wise. So we don't really have big hospital, and even the private hospitals they don't have patients. So sometimes they will tell you, we cannot keep you, we cannot pay you. So when they need you, they call you in. I've not been constant with jobs. So my question is, I want to start this US RN pathway, but without work experience, can I go ahead and start? Like without having a facility of that I've worked for, is it possible to start?
Yeah, the way I'll answer that question is yes and no. Yes, because you can do it on a self-sponsored basis. You can contact Decency NCLEX Academy and we can run the program for you. But no, if you want to join an agency that wants to sponsor you, because if they are going to spend money on you, they want to make sure that you're a good fit for their facility. But if your goal is taking the NCLEX, passing the NCLEX, you can do it, pass your NCLEX, and then before, when all this thing is going on, you would try and find a better hospital that will employ you on a permanent basis. You know, I believe that unless you don't want to move, but if you move closer to the Federal Capital Territory, you should be able to find jobs that pay well and at the same time that will be more permanent. I don't know if that answered your question.
Okay, maybe you answered my question because someone was telling me that.
Go ahead. Can't hear you again. Is it just me? Can everybody hear Ifeoma, or it's just me?
No, we can't hear her.
Oh, okay. All right. So did you have a question, Rosalind, until she gets back?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, go ahead. There must be something wrong with your connection, Ifeoma. So, I mean, you can always ask me this question on my WhatsApp line, and then we can see how to address it. Okay. So, did you have any question? What's her name again? Rosalind, did we answer all your questions?
Oh, yes, please. Somebody just responded. The question I wanted to ask is, at what age can a child be legally left at home? And somebody said 12 to 13, depending on the state law.
Yes, that's true. All right. So sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I don't know. At this point, we're going to take a final word from Nurse Tolu. I know she's been giving us a lot of information today, and we are so happy about that. But before we do that, if you are not in any of our groups where you will get, because the next Friday, we're going to be having somebody from the emergency room, okay? So because I've seen on the comment section that people were requesting for emergency room, and somehow also following Friday, we're going to get ICU. All right, so let's get a picture of all these specialties and see what they are saying about it, okay? So, Bosolo, I know that somehow some people that come for this program today, they might be feeling that we have put fear in them. Yeah, I just want you to play it down a little bit because I know you love your job, okay? Calm down. Mommy be calming down. That's what my son used to tell me, he said, Daddy, calm down. All right, so in order for us to kind of show them the picture, the true picture of how we love our job here in the US, because we just want to let you know there's something they call full disclosure. We want to make you aware of everything that you need to know about living and working in the United States. So sometimes it seems as if we are bringing the negative side because somehow I know you know the positive side, you'll be paid well. So one of them. But Tolu, on your own final word, how would you reassure some of them that have already been employed to work in Medsurg unit? How can you get them to be more positive about their upcoming employment in the US, and also to be able to be very assertive when they start working, to be able to give in their best as a registered nurse here in the US? Your final word, man.
Okay, I'll say that nursing is fulfilling generally, and there is a lot of, depending on what your why is for coming into nursing generally, because this society is mostly like they are not super empathetic, so they're not emotional people. They can be blunt. So a good side for me with my patient when I relate with them is like the caring, empathetic part is, oh, I can do things for them, and they're like, oh, really? I get on their soft, empathetic part, because the general society is just blunt. I give medications, like their fellow white people and all of them, just give medications, do their job, and then disappear. And that's another reason why I stepped down from the core Medsurg, because I always want to interact with my patients, want to have that quality time with them. I remember okay, we don't have time to share scenarios. So there are some patients that just come off the first impression. There was one that was like, why would you just enter my room and be smiling? Like, what's so funny about this day? And when he was leaving, he was literally crying and saying, thank you for everything. I will miss you. And there was one oncology patient too. She was obviously frustrated. Our first meeting was not good because I dipped glove hand in her cream. She said she didn't want the hospital cream. And she said, why would I dip glove hand in her cream? To use it for her. Is your cream, is your glove. And that was our first meeting. It was not nice. And when she was leaving, we hugged. She was literally crying. So there are some that after they interact with you, after they meet that empathy in you that is naturally not in their environment, like not a lot in their environment, they feel at ease, they feel at peace, and you can tap into a part of them that usually their regular nurses won't tap into. And that is a good win for you. It's a big for you. So that's what I would say. But it's very interesting. Lots of learning in Medsurg. Like, you'll be versatile. You can work anywhere. If you survive Medsurg for 1 year, you can work anywhere. Like, you are versatile. You have all the wisdom. You are bold. You can do lots of things. You can move from facility to facility, and it will be the same thing everywhere. So you're kind of more versatile with coming in as a Medsurg nurse. It helps you to know a little about every single thing. So that's a big one for us as well. So I hope it was milder this time and we had a soft landing. I answered some questions in the chat box, so you can just check your replies to your questions in the chat box if your question was not treated. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure chit-chatting with you all, and we'll do this over and over again anytime. I'm all out for this.
Thank
you all.
Thank you, Nurse Tolu. That was amazing. Thank you, guys. If you guys want to appreciate her on the comment section, she's still with us. Now that she can still see it, please just say a thank you the way you say it in your language. I know you have a lot of people from different countries here, so I want you to say thank you the way you say it in your native language, like your dialect, okay? All right, so let's see. Okay, someone say Obulu, somebody say Dalu, somebody say Mades, somebody said Dalu, Esheun, Esema, Emailer, Dewo, Jeff, I don't know what that means. Oh my God, come on, we have a lot of people here. Wow, which countries are these? Oh my word, come on. You don't say, oh, this is great. This is great. Please, just to educate my own ignorance, okay? Can you also tell me which countries that we have here, please? Kindly tell us which countries that those languages are coming from. Please, we would like to know. I've seen Ghana, I've seen Gambia, I've seen Nigeria. Oh, yes. Anya, oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that is from Nsukka, Enugu State, Nigeria. Okay, so which countries are these coming from? So Brazil. So Brazil is obrigado. Does that mean thanks in Brazil? I thought it was a Nigerian language. Oh my God. Uwese is Benin. Oh my God. Thank you so much for educating me, guys. People from Gambia, I've not seen you. So is it Mediate? Mediate? Is that Ghana? Sosongo is Akwa Ibom. I don't that's a lot of languages. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm just learning languages. I used to be a language freak before. Like I would learn so many languages, and it really made my day when I see people, speaking other language. I feel like what happened in the Tower of Babel, we can undo it, but who can undo what God has done? Nobody. All right, so that's good. Gambia and then Ghana, thank you so much for joining as well. We are so grateful that you all are here. And like we said, if someone can repost the link to all our platforms, you can repost it where you will get all our meeting links. Like if you have any meeting, you can get the link there. Every Friday we meet here, but some of you miss very important meetings. And if you have missed some part of today's program, it's gonna be on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube. We have somebody from South Africa. Yeah, say ya bonga. Thank you so much for putting that out there. Zulu tribe. Wow, that's good. That's good. Rahila, thank you so much. And then if you have not clicked that link to join, please click that link to join either the WhatsApp, Telegram, or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and you'll be able to get all the details of all our meetings. Next week, we are going to hear from emergency room nurse. Okay, so we're bringing somebody who's an emergency room nurse, and he or she, I'm thinking about a guy who is very, very outspoken. I'm going to bring him here, and I know that he's going to do justice to the topic of how the life of an emergency room nurse in the US really looks like. Okay, so get ready for us. Next week is going to be emergency room nursing, and then we can go to ICU, and then we can bring in those that work from home, the work from home gang, we can bring them in. Okay, so there's a lot of people that I'm planning to bring here, but let's see. Okay, labor and delivery unit as well. Yes, I have somebody in my mind already for labor and delivery. And then we can also do another session for nurse practitioners. So we can go through family nurse practitioners, we can go through family nurse practitioners, those that are in the mental health nursing and all that. We can go through all that. So just keep a tab with us. Somebody is asking about operating room. We've done operating room. Check our YouTube. You can see the link for, okay, it was posted to you now. So check the YouTube link. You will see the operating room nursing. So for orthopedic nursing, I think it's grouped together with Medsurg. So they do, because it's surgery, so those are coming from surgery, it's regarded as the orthopedic, surgery and all that. So I think it's together. So I don't think we would get anybody who is, entirely an orthopedic nurse. Okay, so but definitely we would get NICU. Yes, we would get NICU as well. I've taken down all these things that you guys said, all your recommendations, and we are going to be working to bring one of those people that are working in the US already every Friday. So come here every Friday and learn. Come and learn. Get ready for the days that you're going to come in the US, so that it would have played in your mind. You would have actually known what is to come. When you come face to face with the reality, it will not be a difficult task for you anymore, because it has already played in your mind. We have said it, this is how it's going to be. And then when you see it, it will be easier for you to relate with. So we are going to get all that for you. So guys, if you really got value for today's meeting, please kindly use the comment section and just type value. If you got value for today's meeting, kindly use the comment section and type value for us. All right. If you are in need of any help with NCLEX process, whether you want to do review, we want to do registrations, we got you covered. Contact Decency NCLEX Academy through any of our link and contact us. Our numbers is 346-370-7110. So you can contact that number, and then on WhatsApp, or you send a text message, basically on WhatsApp, just add +1 from any country that you're dialing it from, and we'll be able to take your registration from start to finish on a self-sponsored basis. So if you want to sponsor yourself, we got you covered. We have over 60 people who are trained and ready to assist you. All right, so get in touch. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much. That's where we'll bring it to an end for today's session. I want to say a very big thank you to Nostolu. That was an amazing experience. I would go, if I were you, I would go through this lecture again, especially the slides, and know those things that she mentioned on those slides. Make sure that you go and read more about them, because if you're going into Medsurg, this is a real life experience. She's telling you how your life is going to be in the next 2 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years. No matter when you come to the US, that is going to still be standard. Okay, so thank you for joining and have a blessed evening. God bless you all. Bye, everyone. Bye.